Which planet do you think the first confirmed intelligent alien life will be disclosed and widely reported on? I know various galactic channelers have been speaking with the Palladians and the Arcturians for decades. But what planet would be the first for mainstream media to acknowledge publicly that life exists there? If I was a betting woman, my bet would be on a tiny, newly discovered planet in the Centaurus constellation, which is our closest neighbor. Over the past few years, conflicting reports have been leaked in the media of the potential of life being possible there. Previously reported temperatures on this planet from mainstream and governmental sources ranged from 12,000 degrees Fahrenheit to negative 38.2 degrees Fahrenheit. In 2018, our friends at NASA reported that our closest neighbor may be, and I quote, more rocky and temperate than initially thought, and hence able to support life. Maybe even the presence of water. Then in 2020, the giant Parkes Radio Telescope, located just outside Sydney, Australia, said that they may have found aliens via radio signal communication originating from this nearby star. This planet or star I'm referring to is Proxima Centauri, and it's often reported as a dim red dwarf star with high levels of dangerous radiation. From my experience visiting and interacting with the beings that live there, that is very far from the truth. This planet is a vibrant and beautiful world with a year-round temperate climate filled with friendly beings and abundant plant and animal life. Let me introduce the real Proxima Centauri, the gem of the Centaurus constellation. Small but beautiful. Will they be the first alien species to reach out publicly to communicate? Well, time will only tell, but Proxima Centauri society is most like what Earth will become post-ascension. We have a lot to learn from them. Greetings and welcome to today's episode. My name is Erin Lynn and I'm an Akashic record researcher and galactic channel. This sweet and adorable galactic species we are featuring today are kind of unknown. Beyond all these news articles about the potential or improbability of alien life there, I say they are kind of unknown because they are often lumped in with their two very well-known neighbors. The Hadarians, otherwise known as the Beta Centaurians, and the Alpha Centaurians, all located close together in that large Centaurus constellation, that big half-man, half-horse in the sky. These two alien species are well known because Akashic record readers have been reading for starseed clients originating from both planets for a long time. There are many of these starseeds here, and they've been incarnating on Earth for eons. And I've heard the name Proxima Centauri in the starseed community bounced around, but it's never really differentiated from their two neighbors. So Proxima Centaurian starseeds are much less common on Earth and have only been incarnating here more recently. So they are not as experienced with life on Earth as their two better well-known neighbors are. Planet Proxima Centauri is a tiny planet in between two much larger planets. The Proxima Centaurians wanted to come forward now because they are not the same as their galactic neighbors. They wanted to be known for who they are and their own planet. They tell me they are their own island and leave the drama to the Alpha Centaurians and the Hadarians. Now, the Proxima Centaurian beings are referencing the more recent, in cosmic timing at least, issues these two planets have had freeing themselves from negative entities wanting to enslave them. The Proxima Centaurians have not had such issues on their own tiny planet. Now, this is not to imply that the Proxima Centaurians do not like their larger and more famous neighbors. They assure me that there's no issues between these alien species, but they also don't interact with them much. Proxima Centauri, although not a new realm, was first discovered in 1915 by South African astronomer Robert Innes. Since 1915, there has been a second Proxima Centauri planet labeled B, which was just discovered in 2016. There's also a D and a potential C that's discussed in the media. Therefore, there's a lot of confusion about this planet if it's a binary star or has a bunch of exoplanets surrounding it. Now, to clarify, I asked the Proxima Centaurians and they replied, there's only one Proxima Centauri. Sometimes those on Earth call it Alpha Centauri C. We are not a binary star. So according to the beings who live there, all the Bs, Ds, and disputed Cs are other planets and not Proxima Centauri. Therefore, the ETs who are referenced in this video with these drawings are the original Proxima Centaurians, whose planet is sometimes referred to as Alpha Centauri C. Yes, very confusing, I know. Despite being the closest planet to Earth, due to its small size, the planet cannot be seen with the naked eye. And as I mentioned in the opening of this video, there has been rumbling in the mainstream media that there may be life there. Now, I know that these stars or planets across the universe are often described as being inhospitable or even violent environments. But from my experiences in interacting with all these different races and having my interactions then be confirmed by past life memories of my Akashic record reading clients, these reports are categorically false. Proxima Centauri is not only a small planet, but also has a low population. And it's always been that way, as they don't have any urban areas on their planet. It is a very natural realm that's very resource rich. So no one goes without anything that's needed to sustain life and to thrive. Now, not that Proxima Centaurians are materialistic. To the contrary, they enjoy a very simple existence, but one that's close with the natural world. And they are so pro-nature that their society is completely vegetarian and killing any animal is against the law. The NASA folks and other astronomy experts discuss the possibility of oceans there, and if these bodies of water may be frozen over or have violent wave and or tidal patterns. In reality, there are oceans on Proxima Centauri. They are not frozen, but clear blue, much like the Caribbean. The ocean, while it does have tides and waves, is safe to swim in, and the beings do enjoy the water. And the sand along the ocean is a bright kind of orangey pink, much like the crushed coral sand beaches found on the earthly island of Bermuda. So let me know in the comments if you've ever seen the pink sand beaches in Bermuda. They are so pretty. So when I asked about how long their planet has been in existence, they told me approximately 2 billion years. Now, Proxima Centauri has always been in the fifth dimension, and it will remain there for the foreseeable future. This planet is what it is, and there are no plans or need to improve on it. As we can see through this series, not every planet in the universe is on an ascension path. However, don't worry, Earth most definitely is on an ascension path and eventually will become a high-dimensional planet at some point. These beings are proud of how beautiful their planet is. When I first visited there via astral travel, upon my arrival, no one was there to greet me, which is unusual. And because I was left to my own devices, I started looking around the environment. And so I entered planet Proxima Centauri near a clear, gurgling stream with some rocks that created a mini waterfall. And there was a lush foliage with like colorful flowers surrounding this clearing where I was standing. Now my 5'8" or 173 centimeter frame felt clumsy and too big for the environment around me. I felt like I was a giant walking around there. So while peaceful, pristine, and stunningly beautiful, everything was just smaller in scale. During the daytime, the sky on Proxima Centauri is a gorgeous light purple all day. And they have one white sun lighting up their world. I also see white clouds in the sky, but it's never cloudy there when I visited. At nighttime, the purple sky remains, but it just becomes a dark purple with twinkling stars. And I've seen a few pink sky planets before, Alphirk being one of them, but at the time of this recording, I've never seen another purple sky planet. The sky is simply stunning. So Proxima Centaurian skin is so lovely. Like their skin is a smooth, light blue, almost baby blue with a slight silver sheen to it. Both the males and females are hairless. They have large, roundish heads that seem disproportionate to their slender bodies. They don't wear much clothing because of the warm and tropical climate year round. So the males wear what I would call a loincloth type outfit, and the females wear simple tank dresses in the same grayish material. And they will often have a satchel or a small bag with like a strap across their chests, as they're always collecting stuff that they find in nature, and then they put that in the satchel. So I always also see the females carrying their babies in larger cloth satchels that are worn higher up on their torsos, just below their shoulders. They have large, expressive, light blue eyes, essentially the same color of their skin. However, the rest of their facial features are like small and delicate looking. The Proxima Centaurians are a very emotional race of beings, where expressing one's feelings openly and honestly is a way of life. And I would say that these beings are even more emotional than we Earth humans are. So these galactic beings are small. They stand about 3.5 feet or 107 centimeters tall. The plants and the trees on their world are really not much bigger than they are. For example, on Earth, if we stand next to a mature tree, depending on what species the tree is, it's most likely going to be much taller than we were. So nothing there is much bigger than the Proxima Centaurians themselves. The Proxima Centaurian personality is very relatable, extremely humble, and down to earth. Their emotions and reactions to things are how most spiritually inclined Earth humans would be. This ET race also reminds me of the Porrimas, another grounded and diminutive blue alien race, but they're much higher in their societal dimension. In fact, the Proxima Centaurians and the Porrimas both share a passion for weaving baskets, mats, and anything else that can be made that way with the plant life around them, which is both interesting and very specific. The Proxima Centaurians communicate amongst each other verbally most of the time, but as we do, but they can speak telepathically, and they do have their own unique language that's nothing like any language spoken on Earth. So obviously they were able to reach out and connect with me, so they're more spiritually and psychically advanced than the average Earth human. So my communication with them has always been telepathic, yet easy to connect with them concisely. This galactic race, while they maintain their planet in a natural state, live in communities of A-framed shaped dwellings. And these homes are small and simple and blend into the natural landscape. And they prefer to spend most of their time outdoors anyways. So these structures are just for sleeping and shelter. And I always see a lot of activity around these dwelling communities as they are sitting outside their homes, doing chores, the children are playing, and they're gathering to socialize with each other. Much like a suburban neighborhood summer barbecue. And they're all just hanging out, chatting, and having fun with the neighbors. Proxima Centaurians have a tight-knit, family-oriented social structure. Their entire community takes a role in raising the children. The children do live with their biological mothers and fathers, but the parents, alongside the entire community, will raise them. So everyone works together and they help each other out. And I'm told, we help each other out here. We are all one. When in an earthly lifetime, these star seed souls will usually decide not to have children because the thought of parenthood as commonly practiced on this planet will appear overwhelming to them. Much like the Anlkkos I covered in an earlier video, the Proxima Centaurians use crystals for all types of technology. They call the crystals God's tech. I see them scouring the forest floor to collect these purple crystals that they will use for healing, meditation, and decoration. And they seem to always have crystals around them. And these beings, they don't have any UFOs or spaceships for interplanetary travel. They tell me, we stay here. They really don't have any desire to leave their utopian home. So if a Proxima Centaurian soul must branch out and experience something new, they will simply incarnate on another planet to do so. But they tend to have many repeat lifetimes on their world. They are like the Ruchbahians in that way. What is interesting about this group is that they use a form of physical currency. All other alien species I have covered so far in this series only use energy or love as a currency or use nothing at all. And I'm told that they are in the process of gradually phasing out the use of physical money. And how they use their money is reminiscent of how the Native Americans used wampum shells for exchange. So the currency the Proxima Centaurians use for trade are not precious metals, but crystals that are found on their planet. Different minerals have various availability on their planet. Therefore, a rare crystal that was found would hold more intrinsic value than a commonly found one. So the Proxima Centaurians do not mine or exploit their land to obtain this currency. It is simply found and then put into the economy. There's a finite number of these crystals as they aren't being manufactured or brought in from another planet. All currency used are naturally occurring and already on the planet. Also, they do not really spend money on much. These beings that live a simple life and aren't aspiring to be wealthy or hoard assets. Therefore, no one is going to be homeless or starve if they don't have any money. So, for example, to build a house, they don't need to go to Home Depot to buy lumber and supplies. They use what is already found around them for free. And most labor is voluntary, but if you wanted to give some crystal currency to another as payment, you could. And not everything is monetized in their society, and there's no taxation. So it's important to note that the crystals that they collect to use for daily use are not the same ones they trade as money. All this leaking in the press makes me wonder if the Proxima Centaurians will come forward on a larger platform. When I asked them, I was told it was their plan, and they hope to do so in the coming years as they recognize that we are their cosmic neighbors and are like them in so many ways. Will our media ever discuss them accurately? Well, the Proxima Centaurians view this video as media and as their first step in being represented as how they truly are. So they are aware of how long it will take for many on Earth to accept them and believe in their existence. But they tell me, we've waited this long, what's more time? If you made it this far and you're still watching, firstly, thank you. Secondly, please let me know in the comments what you think about the Proxima Centaurians. I really find them to be the most relatable ET species I've met so far. And how do you reconcile in your minds what's been said about this planet by the experts and what I presented here? And how would you react to direct contact with the Proxima Centaurian beings? Any ET groups mentioned here that I've made videos about before will be linked in the pinned comment. Links to the media articles I referenced will be in the show notes. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, and kindly subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell. It absolutely helps get this information out to the public. So feel free to watch my other videos introducing other unknown galactic races in the universe. And should you want to have your Akashic record read by me, the link to the website is below. In the meantime, I love you all and welcome to a higher dimension.